going on, y'all? Straight to the point. Please hit the like and sub to the channel if you're not a member, and hit those notifications too. I'm a little late this morning. I had a rough morning, but nevertheless, I'm still here. um, I got a couple things that got to get off my chest. Hope everybody feeling all right. What's up, Ted? All right, let's get right here. Let's get right to it. When Doc Rivers had first came to the Milwaukee Bucks after Adrian Griffin was fired, I thought it was a terrible idea. A lot of people disagree with me. Um, Shout out to my brother Ticket TV. He had defended Doc. Uh, I understand that how he felt about Doc, but my only thing about Doc was the fact that he should not be coaching anymore. Um, I think he's better fit to be maybe in the front office, but as a coach, he's just not responding to. Well, the players aren't responding to him, and they're not buying in to what he's selling anymore. Um, the they're not cohesive as a team. Ever since Drew Holiday had left um, to go to Boston, in which a lot of people thought that was a horrible idea on both ends. Some people thought that him going to Boston, they were like, what the hell is he doing, or what the hell are they doing? And then, of course, when they left Milwaukee, you have some people that were saying, yeah, good, he's leaving because of this narrative. They were pushing this narrative that it was Drew Holiday's fault that they took that L that season or whatever. They didn't play that good or whatever, and everything have fell on Drew Holiday. And that's when Giannis had basically gotten to his feelings, and he took it to the front office. Penny Hardaway. What about Penny Hardaway? What about Penny Hardaway? Anyways, the Milwaukee Bucks have been struggling, and on top of that, Dame, he played horrible the last game. I think he only had 4 points, 1 for 12. This experiment with Dame and Giannis is over with. Okay, it's over with. Many felt that it wasn't going to work in the beginning. Dame is so easy to expose. I've told people that time and time again. You have people up in here trying to have the audacity to argue with me and let me know that Dame is a top 75 player, and he can score, and he can do this, and he can do that, and all the give him some time, and he's having life situations and all this other stuff. That doesn't matter. I'm not gonna sit here and make any excuses for him. The fact is, you had an off season to prepare. Giannis, we know that he played in the Olympics and all of that other stuff. I'm pretty sure Giannis was gonna prepare but Giannis was hurt too. Both guys were hurt, and you've had an off season to recover, to recuperate, to get your mind right, and now you're starting off the season like you don't have any type of expectation, not only for yourself, but for the Milwaukee Bucks as a whole. And Dame is starting to turn into a hype job, or he's been a hype job, because he comes in every single year, and everybody how good of a scorer he is, and he can do this and he can do that, and he's talented and all this other stuff, not realizing that he hasn't been successful. And everywhere, when he was with Portland, he wanted to play hero ball, but it just wasn't working. He was unsuccessful in Portland, came to Milwaukee, now he's unsuccessful. Everybody was like, yeah, they're automatically going to win the championship and stuff. I knew it wasn't going to work. And then on top of that, you have Giannis, who at one time was actually hungry, and it doesn't seem that Giannis is hungry anymore. You said Doc is better with PGs that played like him. Yeah, and I've been saying that he's horrible on defense. He's horrible on the pick and roll. And yet, but Doc, listen, he could play with Jalen Brunson. His coaching philosophy is not sticking anymore. The game has pretty much passed Doc Rivers by from a coaching standpoint. Now, in the front office, he may do better. Just take responsibility and accountability and move up to the front office, sort of like what Brad Johnson did. Brad Johnson knew that, okay, I'm not being successful out here out here coaching. You know what? I'm gonna move to the front office, and guess what happened? Within a couple of seasons, guess what? Now the Celtics are champions. You understand what I mean? Yeah, he's been Americanized. Yeah, Doc messed up Duncan to Magic. He didn't take the blame for that. Oh yeah. Well, but look, it all worked out in the end, though. Because had Duncan went over there, would he have won championships? No. No, he wouldn't have won. They don't have that type of culture. The Magic don't have a winning. They have a winning culture in terms of just getting to the finals and everything, but in terms of getting over the hump, no. And he was blessed to play with a Tony Parker. He was blessed to play with a Manu Ginobili. He was blessed to play with a little bit with Kawhi Leonard, along with the other role players that were there too. Not no shade to them, but I'm talking about the big three. Pop is a better coach. Well, yeah, he's a way more intense coach. That's a that, with Popovich, the game not necessarily has passed him by. It's just that he's working with young talent right now. One of the reasons why I think he wanted Chris Paul over there was so that Wemby can learn from Chris Paul, not necessarily the position so much, but just the game overall. And you see last night, Wemby has set a record for being the only one of the only three players now with him, besides Hakeem Olajuwon and Andre Karolinko, aka AK-47, to have a 5-and-5 game, which is 5 steals and 5 blocks. Yeah, I mean he was, but he could never get over the hump. I mean, you have some good, solid coaches, but they're just better fit for being in the front office. And like I said, I'll reiterate it again that he took accountability and responsibility of being able to get in the front office and say, okay, hey, look, man, I don't want to hurt the team, so I'm just gonna go ahead and work it from the top level. You know what I'm saying? That executive position and stuff. But to get back on the Milwaukee Bucks, not to stray away from the subject, I think that's what Doc Rivers has to do. Now you're trying to listen. I love Bobby Portis, man, as a player, but let's be real. You're trying to get more shots for Bobby Portis, and Bobby Portis, when he first came into the league, Bobby Portis was looked at more as a scorer. You know what I'm saying? Before he started to really know what his role was and stuff. When Bobby Portis at first came in, some people were hoping. I remember when he was in Chicago, some people were hoping that he would, kind of be what KG was, but he got he developed more into a physical, gritty guy that is an intimidator and an enforcer. You know, what's up with it, K Dizzle? I see you in the building, man. So yeah, Dame Lillard, man. And the thing about it is I was talking about Chicago last night. I was talking about Chicago last night and how they're doing right now in comparison to the Bucks. Like, you look at some of these teams, Cleveland, they doing their thing, Boston doing their thing, of course. We'll see what happens, how this whole Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson is experiment is going to work out. You said, is it really Doc or is it Dame? Dame seems off a little. Well, yeah, there's a lot of personal things going on in Dame's life, but like Ticket said, I'm not going to make any excuses for Dame. Listen, man, there are a lot of people in the NBA, and that's just like what I was telling Matt Moses, with the whole Kyrie Irving situation and stuff. You know, you're sitting there and you're saying, oh yeah, well, man, he's dealing with this and he's dealing with that. Well, hello, you made it to the finals, right? So all that we wasn't talking about all this personal stuff that was going on in your life then. When you were during the season and you were able to win the playoff games in order to get to the finals, and now personal issues are bothering you, man. Because what happened to the Western Conference? I mean, the Western Conference semis. What happened to the second round? What happened to the first round? What happened to the 82 game season in which y'all made it? To get there. What happened to all them games where you have personal issues in? You want to talk about that now? So that's what I'm saying. You can't bring that up. Then on top of that, when it comes to Dame, his problem is he's very inefficient. He has never been a pass first point guard. He's all about hero ball. He's not a hawk on defense. He's not going to be like a Walt Clyde Frazier back in the day, who was a defensive minded point guard. Jalen Brunson gets better effort as a point guard. Isaiah Thomas gave better effort as a point guard. You understand what I mean? anybody can expose you right at the top of the key when it comes to a pick and roll. So it's a combination of Dame, and it's a combination of Doc Rivers. Giannis, I'm not going to exempt him from the smoke. Giannis does get the smoke. No, no, no. It's all good, K Dizzle. You came in a little late. Nah, I'm still talking about them. We're still going to talk about the Bucks. I mean, that's not going anywhere. Yes, I'm still going to continue to talk about those guys because they deserve um, what's being handed to them in terms of the criticism. You know, uh, they're just not on the same page. You can literally see that these guys are not cohesive. Then on top of that, Brooke Lopez, he's he's diminishing as a player. Brooke Lopez is clearly not the same. I remember at one time, they were hoping that Brooke Lopez would be sort of like what Yao Ming was. You know what I'm saying? When Brooke Lopez, before the injury had happened, when he was in Brooklyn, Brooke Lopez was actually one of the better big men in the league, especially when he was playing up under Jason Kidd. He when he came out of Stanford or whatever, started off kind of slow or whatever. The Lopez brothers and stuff like that. But he was actually the better brother, and then the injury happened. Then he started to move his game out to the perimeter. But I missed the old Brooke Lopez. That was get gritty in the post. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he would face you up. He had moves in the post, man. He was really solid, a solid post man that could get you 20 and 10 in a couple of blocks. Well, Chris Middleton, I've always appreciated Chris Middleton, man. He's a lot of people might disagree. That year that they went to the finals, Chris Middleton he played a big part in it. Now, did he do a lot of fucking up? Yeah, he did. But the one thing that you can't say about Chris Middleton is that he's not going to give you effort on defense. There was that one time Chris Middleton he led the league in defensive win shares. He was leading the playoffs in defensive win shares. So for people to sit up there and say that Chris Middleton he wasn't a factor and all this other stuff. And then also when Giannis had hyperextended his knee, they were without Giannis. Guess who stepped up to the plate? It was Chris Middleton, and I think some people have forgot about that. But there is no like I said before, K Dizzle, at the beginning of the live, they have no cohesiveness. They have no chemistry. It seems like Doc has lost the locker room. And I'm going to go to a point that Tura has said. Shout out to Tura. He said that it was a horrible idea for Adrian Griffin to be fired. And I said that. I've been saying that. I said, why would you get rid of a guy? Everybody was in disbelief of Adrian Griffin getting fired, and he had a 30 and 13, 31 and 13 or something like that. But he was clearly they were one of the top teams in the East. I think they were third. That's not a reason to get fired. Now is a reason to get fired. 1-4, and you've had a whole off season and stuff like that. Look, and I know people love Doc. I know, look, man, I know we tend to get on this we shall overcome, BS and stuff like that. But if you can't coach no more, you just can't coach. You said, and I want to go back to what Ted said. You said, Coach Pop isn't losing with a prime CP3. Yeah, I'll let you think that. The problem isn't Pop. The problem would be CP3 because he tends to get injured at the wrong time all the time. But yeah, man, I don't see the Milwaukee Bucks unless they go on some sort of run where they go on a, I say, maybe a 7 to 8 game winning streak, maybe lose 1 2 games, it's over with. You said what the world coming to the Bucks are 1-4. I can't believe it. Well, believe it. I mean, listen. There's no reason to be surprised. I had already told you, Stephen. If you had heard me, I told you that this was not a good idea. It wasn't. Um, Whether it was Dame and Giannis, I don't feel like that was a good idea, and I never felt that Doc being there was a good idea. They should have just stuck with what they had. Had they ran it back with Drew Holiday, we'd probably be having a different conversation. But Giannis, he let his unfortunately, and like I said, man, I like Giannis, but we gotta call it what it is. He let his ego uh, get the best of him. You said so far the West reminds me of the SEC of football. Everybody is gonna beat up on each other and just get fat off most of the East. See, there's only two um, undefeated teams remaining right now. Uh, that would be the OKC, unless they lost. I don't know. OKC lost, but it's OKC and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Eastern Conference is starting to be that. They're starting to really show that they can score. You have the emergence of Paleo Bashiro, who I've always talked about. Shout out to Duke. He can light them up. Orlando Magic are a good scoring team. Uh, the Cleveland Cavaliers, we'll see how they pan out. They can put points on the board. Philly, man, our squad, man, we don't have all our pieces together, man. We're depleted right now, so we're not even in the conversation right now. You know what I'm saying? I would like to get all of our people healthy. Then on top of that, we don't have no timetable when Joel Embiid is going to come. Boston is going to be Boston. They're going to light you up. They're actually shooting more threes. New York, they have shown flashes and the ability to get it down, who can do inside out, you know what I'm saying, and also defend and rebound a little bit. Okay, and they can also, and the thing about New York is they can get tough and they can get gritty, right? I'm just talking about the Eastern Conference. Indiana, they're struggling right now a little bit, you know what I'm saying? The Bucks are struggling, of course. I think Charlotte is a team to be watching out for, especially with the emergence of LaMelo Ball. I've always been uh, real supportive of LaMelo Ball. A lot of people were hating on him when he first came in. They didn't really like his game. I like the young man's game. I think he's very talented and he's showing that he can. Trey Young, to me, is he's still going to be the same with the Atlanta Hawks. Uh, he's going to be a turnover machine, very inefficient, and going to blame everybody else. But he's hella talented at it. Um, who else am I forgetting? I mean, those are some of the main teams. But we got what, Boston, New York, Chicago, Washington. Washington is just Washington. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you said I'm very disappointed in my Sixers. You know what? I'm not disappointed in the Sixers. I'm disappointed in the Sixers organization. That's who I'm disappointed in Joel Embiid. That's who I'm disappointed in. Yeah, look, when when you have role players that want to step into starter roles, it's a tough task. It's a tough task to do. Like they were blindsided. They were blindsided by this, Steven. I was blindsided by this. We were expecting. Let's just be honest. Let's be real. Everybody was expecting uh, Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey to be on the floor, coupled with all of our new breed of talent that we have, such as the McCain, such as Gershon from France. People were expecting to see that. The fans were expecting to see that. And guess what ended up happening? We got bamboozled. Then you got the report of Joel Embiid and him not going to be able to to play, and he don't want to play back to backs and some home games and all this other nonsense. So I'm not disappointed in Maxey and Oubre and Kyle Lowry and McCain and some our crew, and even I'm not even disappointed in Andre Drummond. I'm not disappointed in Andre Drummond because at least Andre Drummond is showing up. At least he's showing up. That's the least you could say. Now, I'm gonna talk about some stuff real quick. I'm gonna rush it up. I'll probably get into this a little bit more, but Aaron Rodgers bounces back. I want to give a shout out to the brother Scrub Zero. Definitely go sub to Scrub Zero, and also want to give a shout out to Jose Rodriguez, and also want to give a shout out to the brother Outlaw and the brother Trigger Trey. I had the pleasure of being on their show last night when Scrub Zero and Jose had went live for the Jets versus the Texans game. Um, you said PG needs more time. More time to do what? More time to do what? He doesn't. He's had all the time in the world, man. I mean, cut it out, man. He's had all the time in the world, man. Man, this guy's in his mid-30s. If you'd have said that when he was like 26 or 25 or 24, okay, I can see where you're going. Man, you 34 years old, man. About to be 35. 5 more years, you're gonna be 40. You know, nah, you don't need no more time. Well, you probably need a little time right now to heal and everything, but uh, when you get back on the floor, hey, the expectations are still going to be high. Time to rest, man. Salute, Cypress. What's up with it, man? Make sure y'all go sub to Cypress. You said more time to rest, man. Man, you what is Paul George accomplished? Okay, like you came in and all of a sudden you getting hurt. Yeah, I'll tell you what more time he needs to rest. He need to go ahead and retire. That's what he needs to do because every time you turn around, he getting injured. Joel Embiid, man, make a decision. Either get on the floor or retire. Kawhi Leonard, make a decision. Get on the floor or retire. Okay, all this, man. Oh yeah, every time you turn around, you never had to worry about that with Jordan. You never had to worry about that with Kobe, man. Even with Steph Curry. Steph Curry's injured right now. I guarantee you, he gonna bounce back. He ain't gonna talk about, oh yeah, I can't play no back to backs and all this other stuff. Man, listen, you're gonna have to come with another form of logic than this black white stuff, man. Race don't have nothing to do with it. Yeah, he could be black, white, purple, green. Larry Bird was white. You know what I'm saying? Jokic is European. You know what I'm saying? Jose Calderon is Spanish. What the fuck does that have to do with basketball, man? You said WCF without. So you really think that the Clippers can make it to the Western Conference Finals without Kawhi? I don't know. Uh, but they are. What's his name? Ty Lue coaching his ass off. I will give him that. Shout out to the Pull Up Podcast because BJ had really put that in perspective. What's his name? James Harden is while he's not. James Harden isn't shooting well. I mean, he's shooting like 34%. His turnovers are up, but he's still distributing pretty good. I think he's averaging like 10 assists or something like that. You said John Morant is on his way to being player of the week or player of the month. Yeah. He had 26 points, I think 14 assists and 10 rebounds, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he had a triple double. John Morant and Edie are starting to click. Their pick and roll game is crazy, and that's what you see with Wemby and CP3. Of course, they dominated the Utah Jazz last night, and they were going to do that or whatever. You better win that game. And Cypress knows what I'm talking about because they ended up beating the Jazz. They blew the Jazz out like 104-88 or something like that. But you know, Matt. I mean, I gave Paul George a lot of time, and I don't get on him as hard as I do Embiid. Not in this situation. I do understand what you're saying. He does need a little bit more time because that hyperextension, he's liable to do that again. That can happen again. It can happen on a jump. It can happen on a slide. It can happen with somebody falling on you or something like that. But as far as Joel Embiid, he doesn't have any excuses. You had surgery to repair your meniscus. Um, you had time to recover. You wanted to rush back. I'm pretty sure you were probably telling the doctors and the physicians that you wanted to hurry up and get back on the floor. You went out there and you played on one leg. You know what I'm saying? And we could tell that it was clearly bothering you when you played against New York. But then somehow, some way, you found a lot of energy to come out there and play with the USA team. Load management was never a thing back in our day. No, it wasn't. Well, the only load manager was put some ice on it, or throw dirt on it and get back out there on the floor. That was it. Bro, Morant is out there doing it with a bunch of role players. No disrespect, getting it done. No, they got solid players. They got guys that can actually score. Like Zach Edey, he's not a role player. Jared Jackson Jr. Jared Jackson Jr. was top 3 in the blocks. Um, you have some decent shooters and everything. Nah, Memphis is cold. You know, I'm not going to sleep on Memphis now. You know. Now I tell you what though, A Dub, they are missing Derrick Brooks though. You know, I know y'all don't like Derrick Brooks. I appreciate a guy like Derrick Brooks. You know, Derrick Brooks is what Patrick Beverly is. He's what Draymond Green is. He's what uh, Bobby Portis is. He's what, to a certain extent, what Dennis Rodman is. He's a pest. Yeah, how about him? But we don't know if you. I mean, you got to, like I said, you got to make a decision. Are you going to be Lakers? Are you going to be Cavs? Are you gonna be Atlanta Hawks? Are you gonna be Washington Wizards? Are you gonna be Miami Heat? You know what I'm saying? Oh, which team you gonna choose? Yeah, Pippen Jr. Give us a, yeah. I like Pippen Jr. Man. I've always liked Pippen Jr. I like him, and I like Kenya. Who we got? Kenyon Martin Jr. I think they play. Their games are kind of similar a little bit. But yeah, the Cavs. They listen. But I listen. I talked about this. I think it was. I think I might have talked about this yesterday. But Donovan Mitchell, he's look. He'll start off good and everything, but then you gotta wonder if Donovan Mitchell is gonna show up in the playoffs. That's what Donovan Mitchell's thing is. I mean, and then you gotta wonder if he's gonna pull that crap that he did, last year with JB Bickerstaff. Oh yeah, this one's at 2. Okay, good. Oh yeah, I love John Morant. You say okay, I understand, Matt. You say yep. I He gave toughness and defense, especially Brooks. Definitely. Yeah, he did. All right, look, you need a guy like that on your team. Now, K Dizzle understands what I'm talking about. You might have not liked Bill Laimbeer, but the Pistons liked him. You know why? Because he was able to be a pest and get into the psyche of guys. That's what Dylan Brooks is. Dylan Brooks is not afraid of LeBron James, but you have other guys that are really afraid of him. Hey, Lance Stevenson. Lance Stevenson was like that too. He was a pest, but Lance Stevenson can score and had handles and stuff. John Morant is my guy. Okay. But like I was telling Cypress TV, man, and we talked about this, and Cypress said the same thing. The problem with John Morant, man, you need to, nigga, is you gonna play basketball or is you gonna try to copy off of what Lil Durk and Young Thug and Straight Drop and Cornelius and all them are doing? You understand what I'm saying? Like you got to decide if you want to be a basketball player, or if you want to be a gangster. Paul Pierce, he figured out quick. Hey, man, I don't want to smoke with Benzino and them after that situation that happened with Benzino. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with protecting yourself. Nothing at all. If well, I don't know if you really come to any of the other conversations that I have, Matt. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this for you again. I advocate for carrying a pistol, but there's a difference between flashing it on social media and all this other stuff and letting people know, like like you toting the shit, like you really about that life and everything and stuff when you really not. Now, when it came to that guy, when he invited the little fan or whatever out there at his basketball court, I don't blame John Moran for that. You do have people, and from what I hear, the guy tried to swing on him or whatever. Yeah, yeah, protect yourself. Yeah, but you sitting up there, I'm talking about you getting on live and you flashing, you know what I'm saying? You flashing the pistol, you know what I'm saying? You man, you got you got a Draco, you got a Draco, or you carrying an AR or something like that. Like what you, nigga, you on some goddamn, you trying to be on some Maurice Claret. You from Ohio, so and you and Ted, y'all know about Maurice Claret. You remember? I'm like, man, what the hell, Maurice Claret? You remember this K Dizzle? Cypress, everybody up in here. What's his name? Maurice Claret, man, had weapons all in the back of his SUV, like he was getting ready to go to war. Like nigga, what the hell, nigga? You you supposed to be You're supposed to be getting ready for, not only to get the Heisman, but you're supposed to be ready to be possibly playing for the national championship. Up in here got guns and stuff like that, nigga. Like you pushing pounds or some shit like that, nigga. Like you finna go to war, shit, nigga. Dog, nigga. The only war you finna go on is on the battlefield, on the football field, nigga. What the fuck you got all these guns out there for, nigga? Damn, nigga. There's no reason, nigga. All you need to do is have you a couple of have you something handy, nigga. There's no reason for you to have all of that, nigga. If you go back and you go look at what happened. Now, if you involved in some shit, if you out there robbing people, you out there messing around with people girl and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? You messing around with people girl and all that other stuff, okay. Well then you better do that. But if you're not dibbling and dabbling in the streets and all that other stuff or whatever, man, dog, man, just get you one pistol, you know what I'm saying? One machine gun, preferably, home defense or something like that. Maybe, 12 gauge, a Mossberg or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But niggas want to walk around like with a Draco and AR, like they know how to shoot that motherfucker. You probably don't even know how to shoot that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You actually got to know what you're doing. Like nigga, with a Draco, nigga, you could hit innocent people and stuff. Like, and a prime example, you see, them niggas didn't even know how to shoot that goddamn Draco when what's it called? That whole Young Dolph situation happened. Man, you gotta know what you're doing. A lot of these guys ain't even never even shot none of that. They just want to say, oh yeah, I got this and I got that. Probably ain't even never shot no starter pistol. You say I disagree. Well, you're agreeing with me. So I guess you didn't really hear what I had to say. Now, I know you say, oh, you sound like an old school player. Let me just go ahead and let me put it in layman terms for you, okay? It is okay for you to protect yourself, all right? Over here in these neck of the woods, hey, you trespass. You trespass over here, yeah, we have the right to shoot you. There is nothing wrong with protecting yourself. You have the right to bear arms. So I don't have a problem. If you got millions, you better have something. But I'm not saying what I'm saying is you don't want everybody to know. You sitting up in there, you trying to, I'm on this and stuff like that. You're gonna end up messing up a bag because you put everybody know who you are. You are a superstar. You are a possibly a future Hall of Famer. You are one of the best players to play in the NBA. Nigga, keep your shit on the low. You ain't gotta let everybody know you got that shit. Yeah. Like, nigga, why? What's up, Alex? I see you in here. Said niggas probably thought he was finna do a TikTok video. Yeah, man. Nah, man, just now, and that's tricky too, right there too. If you in a music video, something like that, because you're gonna be young. Listen, AI, he carried a gun. He got in some trouble with a pistol and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I'm not saying yes, protect yourself, and he got kids. You know what I'm saying? How many kids he got? I think he got one or two kids. But either way, he got a family. Yeah, protect yourself. But I'm not saying I'm telling you, you ain't gotta let the whole world know. Now, and you talk about a target, Matt. Yeah, they gonna make him a target because it's like, oh yeah, oh he about that life. Well, some of the street cats or whatever, if you a real gutter street cat, a guy that that wants to smoke, because just because, yeah, you might intimidate an average Joe that don't mess with the streets, a law-abiding citizen, tax-paying citizen, and everything like that, that just go to work 9 to 5 and all that other stuff. You might intimidate them or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the hood cats, you know what I'm saying? They're like, nah, I want to see what you about. I want to test your gangsters. So you run into them, you know what I'm saying? They like, shit. Oh, that's all you got? They gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? So that all I'm saying is focus on playing ball. Focus on doing what you need to do, or you're gonna wind up you know in a situation where you really don't want to be in. And I don't think I don't think he meant no harm by it or nothing like that. But also, I got to realize this: he was also about to get into a fight. I think um, his mom, when he was in the mall or something like that with his mom or something like that. But yeah, y'all. Um, John Morant, man, he was. I was disappointed in him when he did that. And some people, hey, listen, it might be an unpopular position that I'm taking, but I'm cool with that. Everybody wants to see. That's our problem. Y'all want me to be like, oh yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? He doing that and stuff like that. But that's what's problem with our society now. Everybody talks about, oh yeah, why are we losing these rappers and why are we losing why are we losing our people and all this other stuff? Because that's what's being pushed. They like to see John Morant getting in trouble. They like to see the young thugs getting in trouble. They like to see, niggas getting locked up and stuff like that. That's what's being pushed. That's what's being glorified and stuff like that. They like to see Diddy, locked up for doing the stupid shit, whatever he did. You know what I'm saying? Nah, they don't want to see for instance, if K Dizzle, you know what I'm saying, gets his master's degree. They don't want to see if Matt Moses is raising his kids and just bought a house. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see, some a guy, he just, got a car and just established another business. Nah, they don't want to see progression with our people. They want to see us, oh yeah, toting pistols, acting a fool like Lil Woody in the courtroom and shit, and yeah, all these other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what's being marketed. I'm not cool with that. That's not who we are, man. If you go back and you go look at Black Wall Street and stuff like that, no, we had our own judges, we had our own firemen, we had our own lawyers, we had our own businesses, we had our own everything. Our own everything, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't need to go out there and rob nobody or rob no trap or stick up nobody or kill nobody in order to do it. Man, they're waiting for anything. They're waiting for you to slip up. Adam Silver, he might his old alien. Man, Adam Silver don't even look real. Adam Silver, man, that was a good costume he had on. Just himself yesterday. Adam Silver, man, Adam Silver scared me, man. That motherfucker, like, when you have a conversation with him, man, you gotta wonder if something fitting to happen. Like, like, do y'all? Am I the only one that thinks that? Adam Silver he don't look real. He look like something you see in the goddamn movie or something, man. Like, you said the first time he did that was him with him. And then he turned around again. What crossed the line for me? Still with him. Another Grizz rookie who is going to be okay is Jalen Well. Haven't checked his plus minus. Um, let what you talking about, A-Dub? I'm kind of confused on what you're talking about. I want to know though. Hold on one sec, y'all. You said Adam Silver looks like Roger of American Dad. I don't. Listen, man. To be seriously though, I don't. I don't like. I mean, he's trying. He tries to make the game. I know he, from an entertainment standpoint, what his mindset is, but it's not working. Just to be honest with you, K Dizzle and A Dub, the ratings are down. I don't know if y'all know that. Now, baseball might have had something to do with that. Also, got to take into account football has been in the swing of things. The World Series, people are gonna watch the World Series. Even people that don't even watch baseball like that, people gonna watch the World Series. And on top of that, let's just call it what it is. Um, a lot of people has been kind of disappointed in the circus that's been going on. Uh, you know, with the Lakers ordeal. But the ratings are down. Now, shout out to Dreamers Pro. He did put this in perspective. He did say that when Christmas time comes, he the ratings are probably going to jump up again because they have a lot of games that are going to be happening. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like David Stern, but David Stern, see, like when I was young, I didn't realize this. Cause when I was young, I wasn't paying attention to commissioners and coaches and none of that other stuff. I just wanted to see players. I'm talking about when I was, adolescence or what or not. But I had to realize, man, as I got older, David Stern actually knew the game. He knew about basketball. He knew um, about the actual game. You know what I'm saying? Adam Silver doesn't really know about the game as much as David Stern does. He, from an entertainment standpoint, he's all about what's trendy, what's hot, what's new, what's the latest, stuff like that. That's what he's about. But see, Joe Dumars knows the game. To me, it was Joe Dumars, his idea, K Dizzle, to have the 65 game minimum. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because think about it, Joe Dumars. Think about what era he comes from. He comes from an era where, like I said, these guys wanted to play. They wanted to suit up. Some guys would be really mad because they had a broke ankle and couldn't get back out there, and they would be trying to fight the staff to get back out there. Nowadays, they sprain an ankle or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They want to take like 2 months off or something. You didn't watch the World Series? Yeah, I watched it. Because I'm a Dodgers fan. You said David Stern was, yeah, with players and care for gameplay. Plus, he eventually moved from Michael Jordan and least fair. Well, yeah, listen, you have to move on, man. Like, you have to move on. Listen, man, a lot of people, I, you're gonna have fans out there that like LeBron James, that like CP3, that like Kevin Durant, that like Steph Curry and stuff. But the league got to transition. That's another thing too. That's probably why you see a lot of the ratings down too, because the league is going through a transition right now where they're trying to market these other stars. You got to market Ant Man now. You got to market guys like Wembyama. You know what I'm saying? Zion. You know what I'm saying? uh, they're looking for a new crop and a new breed right now, and that could be kind of tough because your eyes are so fixated on the Dame Lilliards and the KDs and the Steph Currys and all of them. But let me go ahead, man, and bounce. I'm gonna talk about the Aaron Rodgers and the Young Thug conversation a little bit later. Make sure y'all hit that like, sub to the channel if you're not a member. Also hit the notifications too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Get at you later.